It's 11 a.m. people, and time for your brand new radio talk show, NASCO Moments, brought to you by NASCO, providing the quality life. I am Hudun Gang, and I will be your host of this interesting expedition as we rediscover, relearn, understand, cultivate, fine-tune, motivate, recreate, and explore the very ideals that make us who we are. All right, it's great to have you on the NASCO Moments Show. Growing up in the 80s, it was near impossible to go a day without a touch of something NASCO. What was breakfast without cornflakes? What was a lunchbox without wafers? And what was a home without a carpet? What was tea without biscuits? I guess you can, understand what we're getting, where we're trying to get here. The story of life in Jos and indeed Nigeria cannot be told without the mention of this iconic brand. One would be hard-pressed to think of another brand in Nigeria that has contributed to every aspect of our lives as much as NASCO has. Someone who would agree with me on this is my guest on today's show. He actually needs little by way of introduction. How are you doing today, VIC?
I'm okay. Good morning, people.
And have you had your NASCO today?
Like every day, like when you're mentioning NASCO from way back in the days, like when we were kids in the 80s, I just remember this morning my kids were like, "Daddy, we want cornflakes," and check out the pack, it's NASCO again. So it's been following me for ages and decades too.
You know how it is, how we like foreign things in this country, but we have the best right here at home, and we should always, how it is, what they say, charity begins at home. We should always start with what we have right here at home. And that NASCO provides that.
Yeah, I think when we were growing up back in the 80s, my cousins who were schooling in the UK, in the US, anytime they came home, they just want to try anything NASCO. So they get a lot of the biscuits, they get a lot of the wafers and the cornflakes, and they leave us with the Kellogg's here, and then they go with the NASCOs there. But when they leave, the good thing is Grandpa used to work in NASCO, so we always had stock of them in the house. Everything NASCO was automatically in our house.
And imagine, it's been 50 incredible years of NASCO. Commitment to foundational ideals, and it's amazing how long NASCO has been a silent part actually, of our history as a nation. We were just talking about, breakfast and wafers, remember all those things that were just so much a part of our lives. I remember those biscuits. I remember they had a box of biscuits with different kinds. This one, different shapes. It was just quite a variety. As kids, we used to fight over things like that.
Right. You're so right.
Yeah, it brings back all those great memories. You remember things like that?
I couldn't, my lunchbox to school was a Superman lunchbox. My elder brother's was like a Batman's lunchbox. But then the fight was who takes what color of biscuit, who takes what color of wafers every day to school. So we had it in flavors and varieties. But then I was always lucky to catch the strawberry flavor for the wafers. I was always lucky to get the cream biscuit in my box. It was just fantastic. It was just NASCO-philic, I would say.
All right, now I remember going to secondary school. There were all kinds of blankets that we took to school, and my parents went and got us NASCO blankets. Mine was blue and my sister's was pink, and I know so many students in school had the same thing. I don't know how it was in your home though.
Well, we had lots of colors. Like me particularly, I had a gray color, my brother had a green, and then a lot of my cousins who would come around, and then they usually get it from my uncle who used to live at the fiber quarters, NASCO quarters in here.
Really?
Yeah, it was nice going there, you see all the nice carpets. Every product of NASCO, you find it in there. And whatever you find in our uncle's house, you find it back in our home in Redview. It was really fun.
Yeah, the carpets were certainly part of the home as well. You have the food.
Lovely part of NASCO.
You have the carpets, you have the blankets. They just wanted to take every part of our lives, and they did, didn't they?
They practically did enjoy it, because every office had NASCO carpets, every home, every kitchen had NASCO tiles, detergent, Britex, everywhere, laundries, everything was just NASCO.
And it is an African legacy that we are proud of. We've been part of it as Jos, and I think it's something that we should continue to cultivate as Plateau people. It's something to be proud of, and It has been a part of our lives, and that's why we celebrate it. Well, NASCO Moments is the radio show you're listening to. This is Peace 90.5 FM stereo. And we'll be back to talk about a lot more. We're building a culture of quality in everything we do. And that's what the NASCO Moments show is. We'll return after this break.
It's my nourishing days, darling. Nothing else tastes better than a bowl of NASCO cornflakes, so crunchy and so good.
Mom, do you know that NASCO cornflakes now contains vitamins and minerals to make me healthy and strong?
Yes, dear. One serving of your favorite nourishing NASCO cornflakes is now fortified with essential vitamins and minerals required for growth and energy. And what's more, as always, NASCO cornflakes can be served at any time of the day.
Really?
Yes, darling. NASCO cornflakes, ever so tasty and crunchy.
Can I have mine now, Mom?
Of course.
Ever so tasty and certainly crunchy, Mom.
And a bowl of NASCO cornflakes, so crunchy and so good.
NASCO cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
Thanks for staying tuned, everyone. It is the NASCO Moments Show, and this is Peace 90.5 FM stereo. We're back to the subject of NASCO, the company and the brand. As we have been saying, it's been a long evolutionary journey. And I don't know what you think about NASCO, but I know that VIC here has a NASCO story to tell.
Well, I let me just say, like, growing up, it was really nice passing or driving through town and then seeing the structures, NASCO, the fiber carpet industry, the NASCO office. It was the most beautiful and most colored building around Airport Junction then. We didn't have like all these shops, they were knocked out. We didn't have like anything except the Hillcrest Hostel. All the Tadam were just basically empty. It was just an industrial street of NASCO. And I think over the years, what I've been impressed about is the contribution to generating employment for people in the state. Because usually when you establish an industry anywhere, the first people to benefit should be the immediate community. And I think over time, NASCO has generated and created employment for thousands and thousands and thousands of people in Plateau State.
Yes, and they've been resilient in business. They've been around for a long time. They've had competition over the years, but they are still here, and that says a lot about them.
The beauty about NASCO is that all their products usually came from a foundation of a market research. What that means basically is that they always know how to keep their market base, their market structures, whether it's within Plateau, outside Nigeria. It extends to Nigeria and all Chad. They consume NASCO products much more than we even do here in Nigeria. And aside from that, surviving the power situation in Nigeria,
oh, yes,
and running a company for like 50 years on generating plant, you must give an award. I'm serious. They are survivors, not Destiny's Child. They are the survivors.
I remember how textile industries have all closed up in most parts of the north.
The Ariwa textile industry, go to all the places, all shut down. NASCO is still strong, standing and serving people.
Honestly, still here with us. But what about what they've done for the people, their responsibility to the community around them? How do you assess that?
Like Plateau basically is an agricultural society. And establishing NASCO here generated a lot of agricultural activities in our villages, because they were going there to buy products or crops for people, whether it was something they would consume immediately or something they can make crepes from or cornflakes from. They just kept the industrial activity in just very active. And then when you extend it outside, the cash crop business, they generated revenue for the Nigerian government by exporting those cash crop agricultural products that we had. So I think over the years, NASCO has just been outstanding. They have really laid their footprints in the sands of time. And it'll be, I think the next generation of people who come 30 years, 40, 50 years later will still remember NASCO.
In 2004, NASCO received the Peace Award from the government of Plateau State for contributing to the peace of the state. In 2011, they were named the Peace Ambassador by the Foundation for Peace and Nonviolence in Nigeria, which is an award which recognizes its support and sponsorship of numerous peace missions, especially within JOS. So you see, they not only provide employment and have not just been a part of our homes from their products, but they are also interested in promoting the peace which we so direly need in this state.
One of the worst things you do to a people is not starve them of education. When we talk about employment security, it means you need to employ people, but the basic one is food security. When people are hungry, they are angry. If we give a hungry man a gun, you will excite him forever because he knows how to use it. He will know what to do with it. Now, if NASCO over the years employed over 5,000 or 10,000 people, they've actually put food on a lot of people's tables. That means their food is totally secured. And so you will have all this conflict of interest. Somebody wants this, somebody wants that, and then there's always crisis. Now, when it comes to peace building, our contributions of NASCO, I think when I monitored them in 2001 crisis, I was still a student of UG, I think my final year after the crisis. They were the first to actually give out relief materials to people displaced. They were the first.
And that is, of course, something you can look up to them and say, okay, they are a part of us. They care about what goes on around them.
Because initially, they don't even want the crisis situation.
Of course, it would certainly not be bad for business.
It's bad for business. They can't progress beyond a day if the crisis prolongs beyond a day. So they have to do whatever they can to have a peaceful environment for their own company and the people of Plateau State. And I think they've really achieved a lot in that regards. Having 2 awards in less than 10 years on peace, I mean, I think is an achievement.
And I think people should discover for themselves what NASCO represents, what they do, what's their motivation, their vision, their philosophy. And as a brand, you see the NASCO crown, and when you see it, what do you see? You see leadership, heritage, you see continuity, you see dominance, strength, and you see community, which we have been talking about right now. And all of that NASCO represents. It's tied to the quality life that it is here to give you and to give me. And I think that that is something that we all want. Quality in our lives. Who doesn't want a bit of quality in his life?
Maybe a villager. And that's just by the way, not literally.
No, even they deserve quality.
If you see somebody who doesn't want quality, probably doesn't know there is an option of quality and a low quality product. That's the only chance you find somebody in Nigeria who will just say, I don't care about quality, because he doesn't have an option. But if you give somebody an option of a quality product and a less quality product, everybody will go for a quality product.
Oh, VIC, you seem to know so much about NASCO.
Yeah, my granddad worked there, my uncle worked there, my people, like lots of my neighbors used to work there. Because I used to sit down in front of that house. Our house was basically about the only house in Rifi, even before PRT was established.
Yes.
Just the 3D division, and then the quarters, which was basically white people, were just like 2 black families there. So we watch all these trucks picking people in the morning to go to NASCO shifts. By 12, they'll drop you when we're coming up from school. They're dropping some set, they're picking some set. So we just watch NASCO trucks and fiber picking and dropping people every day. So I think I have an idea. I've been so interested in knowing more about NASCO.
And I'm sure you've had a great number of people who have passed through that place, who have worked there and gone elsewhere, and who will always think back and say, this is where I started off, this is where I got my beginning, this is where I got my, my drive to move on to the next level.
I have lots of them. Maybe someday I'll recommend them, or you can have them as guests and they can tell you much more than I think I know.
Oh, well, that would be great. All right, this is the NASCO Moments Show. We'll take a music break, and when we return, more on the NASCO Moments Show, plus information on the NASCO trivia. That's something to look forward to. Our good friends from NASCO have lots in store for listeners. Stay tuned.
Cornflakes, now fortified with essential vitamins and minerals.
NASCO Cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
NASCO Cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
Good to have you back to the NASCO Moments radio show on Peace 90.5 FM stereo. This is the concluding part of the show, and we'd like to talk a little bit about what the show is about, what it will be about subsequent weeks. And there will be a lot that we'll be talking about, things like lifestyle, entertainment. We'll talk about peace and security, education, healthy living, things that affect you. That is all it's going to be about over the next 13 weeks, and how these subjects have evolved and ultimately shaped the heart and soul of Jos. You know how they always say, if we talk about lifestyle, you know, people always say Jos people have swag. I don't know if everybody knows what that word is, but I associate it with lifestyle. What do you think?
Well, like swag. Maybe if I say the meaning of swag, a lot of people in just will stop using it. Because swag basically means secretly we are gay, and it was created by prisoners who wanted to tell the other person, I'm gay, you can come close to me, you can have a moment with me. And so they start pulling like a low-waist jeans, and that's the attraction. But initially the first word was by a prisoner who just decided that secretly we are gay, and that is our code. And that's how you know a gay guy, when you swag down your jeans. But then other than that, lifestyle in Jos has been very interesting, because I think what I know from ever since growing up, I've always known that my uncles used to be some of the best dressed guys around. Even when they came for holiday from UK with their friends from Maiduguri. One of them was recently governor of Maiduguri, and one of them was recently minister from Kano. But then all the same, all the time they're back at home, they would do their shopping from UK. But when they come back to Nigeria, he's the one who knows how to dress well. So the style, the lifestyle of good dressing has always stayed in Jos, and most likely because of the weather condition, again, we have to like be smart enough to know what to wear, how to wear them, and I think basically that's it.
There are lots and lots of pretty houses all around. You know, people know how to, you know, there are flowers around.
Yeah.
People are really into flowers in town.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Look at the sceneries we have in Jos. Every single village you go, you always have a moment that will catch your breath. Wow, you want to just sit down for a moment. You want to just spend time there for a moment. You just want to enjoy the natural weather and trees and vegetation.
yes, and so many beautifully decorated houses. These are all things that people are interested in. But of course, the entertainment industry is huge in Jos. I'm sad that you know, you kind of have to go to Lagos to make it big, but lots and lots of huge stars have started from here, and the entertainment industry in Jos is still burgeoning, and we have so much talent in Jos. You cannot even talk about entertainment in Nigeria without talking about Jos.
Well, for starters, even the top 3 biggest hip hop artists in Nigeria are all from Jos. You talk about Ice Prince, you talk about MI, you talk about Jesse Jazz, you go to P Square. These are all guys from Jos. Now, the problem we have with entertainment in Jos and why we have to travel all the way to Lagos is because the people, the rich people, the billionaires in Lagos recognize the fact that this is a way to liberate the youth from unemployment. So if you could just put a bit of money on investment in their own talent, they'll excel and fly. And they invested a lot. But down in Jos, we have lots of people who are multi-billionaires, but they just still don't respect our talent enough to invest in it. So the one with the nicest, the fastest growing talent, the best way to grow is to find a checkout point to Lagos. And once you get to Lagos, you know once you're good, you're going to fly. And once you start flying, they start inviting you back home. They want to celebrate you. They want to dash you honors and all that. But somebody should invest in the entertainment industry.
That is the most important thing right now. We need
somebody
investment.
to invest in the entertainment industry. If someone can close his eyes and put 500 million naira in just investment, you don't need to go to Lagos. You don't because you already have the market base. We're about 170 million Nigerians. If just 2 million people will buy your CDs at 100 naira, you're a millionaire already. So we already have the market base in Nigeria. we don't have the people that have the heart to invest in the industry here. I hope the government will listen to this and do something about it.
Yeah, because talent is not enough, is it? You need so much more to go with it. That's just the start. If you have talent, then it starts there. But there's so much more that goes into it. And we'll be talking about things like this subsequent weeks. And education. What do people do to better themselves, to make themselves stand out? You want to be an outstanding person. You want to have a conversation with someone and have that person respect you, respect your views. It's because you've built yourself up. It's apart from going to the classroom, there's so much more to do to make yourself a better person.
I think where the problem with Nigerian youth is simple. They just want that classroom education because they're guaranteed of a job. If you're qualified, you know this man, you know that auntie, and you probably just pick a job. And the first thing he's looking out for is a meal ticket. So right from there, he starts developing himself. Because if you have a 2-1 in BSc and I have a 2-1 in BSc, and you get a job now, and I go back reading more books than you, there will come a time we go for job interview. They will pick me for my knowledge of the society that I know over you. So if I spend more time building myself personally, I know I'm equipping myself for a bigger portfolio tomorrow.
Yeah, what about skills? It's also important. I know someone who told me that every year he tries to learn a skill. So if you learn something this year, next year he tries to find another skill
He
to
better
learn.
start a skill acquisition school soon. Because if he's learning every year, he should start.
I don't know how successful he has been, but it's good to have a target like that to say, okay, I want to learn a skill each year. I need to learn
I think
something.
what I've done in the past 5 years of my life with India is that I've picked different topics and I give them like 2-3 months. And I'll buy books in regard to that topic and I'll just take 3 months and finish that topic. Crashing, whether it's petroleum in Nigeria, whether it's terrorism in Nigeria or Africa, I just try to develop myself more and more so that I know when the time comes, you give me a platform, to me it's just a platform. If you call me to come and do a job for 3 days, to me is a platform. Somebody wants that as a career, wants that as a job for a lifetime. I don't need a job for a lifetime. I just need a platform so that you know what I have and you take me to the next level. That's what I want. And that's what it means to build yourself up. Not necessarily wait for classroom BSc.
Certainly. That's great. What about healthy living? It's always said that we have a bad culture of taking care of ourselves. We don't go for checkups. We don't take care of ourselves. There's so much information about nutrition, about the vegetables and the fruits that we have, which we do not take advantage of. We all eat a certain kind of thing all the time, lots of carbohydrates when we have so much available so that we can be healthier. Are we that health conscious? What more should we do?
I think the rich are, but then the people who are even poorer in the villages are smarter than us because they do a lot of these vegetables in the villages.
Yeah.
They eat them a lot. But here in the city is what we eat because we just want to get filled up for today and chase what's for tomorrow because you've got bills to pay. And then your salary structure is probably so not interesting to talk about. But then every day you wake up, you want a better life for your kid, you want a better life for your family, you need to pay the bills, you need to pay the house rent. So people don't really have time to look for what to really eat to be healthy. So in order to just stay healthy, if you can't afford all this nutritious food, it's just regular 10-15 minutes exercise every day. Just regular 10 minutes, some sit-ups, some push-ups, some little skipping in your house. Every day you do that for a year, every day you hardly... I just don't even know how to put it, but you just stay healthier than a lot of people.
We certainly need to.
You breathe lighter, you sleep lighter, you walk lighter.
If we exercise regularly, you need to have a regimen. This is what I do, and get used to it. And there's also things that we're going to be talking about over the weeks, peace and security. We need to be more conscious of what happens around us. We need to be careful about the people that surround us. We need to know the people that we work with, the people that we live with. There are so many tips that we have received, but we need to put it into practice so that we can secure ourselves. And also, it's not just about the security agencies working for us. There's so much more that we can do.
Yeah, but then still, if the security agents don't come out as our friends first, we won't be free enough to tell them our suspicions on the streets.
Yeah, of
Seriously.
course, they have
because
a
back
huge
in the
part
days when
to
I was
play.
growing up, I always know they say the police is your friend. But then anyone who sees police, they run off, they run away. You don't really trust them per minute because you don't know if you have like $10,000 and you're traveling the night and you see a police at the checkpoint, you're supposed to be secure, but the first thing is a heartbeat. It's a heartbeat. You might not make it home, especially when they know you have money. So first things first, they need to make us know that we are friends with them. We live in the same community. They can get off, they can be mufti, and then we can be together, have a drink, go somewhere. That way I can tell them if I have a problem. Like I see something around my house, I can just go and tell this police officer, I'm not sure of this car, it's been parked there for a while. He can come and do something about it. But if that officer always frustrates me every day, you probably won't even tell him because you don't want to talk to him.
Oh, well, there's a lot of work to be done, but we need to also understand the part that we need to play, and they should play their own part as well. It's the NASCO Moments Show on Peace 90.5 FM stereo. This is my favorite part of the show. NASCO has been committed to providing the residents of Jos with the quality life, and this is true today as it has been for the past 5 decades. Now, we have something special for you. As a testament to its desire to give back to its customers for their loyalty over the years, listeners will have the opportunity to participate in a weekly trivia on the NASCO brand. This is how it works. We will read out one question each week during the 3rd segment of the show. All you have to do is send us the correct answer. Remember, this is a text-only trivia, which means only responses sent via text messages will be considered. We will have one winner each week, which means the first to send in the correct answer will be the one to win the prize for that week. The number to send your text message to is 080-577-4777. I'll take the number again. 080-577-4777. Okay, this week we have the very first question, so do listen because I might not ask the question again. How many products does NASCO currently produce in its foods and household division? All right, I think I'll take it one more time. How many products does NASCO currently produce in its foods and household division? Remember to send your answer to the number 080-577-4777. Text messages only. And for the sake of audiences who might have missed today's broadcast, not to worry, you can catch this week's show on our podcast. All you have to do is visit the website www.nasco.net to listen to the show as many times as you like. So we need you to participate. Talk to your friends, family, colleagues, friends, everyone you know. Let them listen to the new show in town. Subsequently, every other broadcast will also be made available on our website. I say it's been great having you on the NASCO Moments Show. How's it been for you?
Well, it feels good to talk about NASCO after all these years of admiring NASCO. Well, it feels good, really feels great. And I'm glad they're still alive and servicing us.
Yeah, that's great. It's great to have them around. All right, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Look forward to having you some other time.
Well, if you promise me a pack of NASCO, I'll come.
Oh, you're most welcome.
All right, I'll come then.
All right, you can tune in next week for a very important discussion on self-cultivation. You can also visit, we have many platforms for you to visit NASCO. You can go to the website, www.nasco.net. You can join us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/NASCO Group. And you can follow NASCO on Twitter at NASCO Group. The NASCO Moment Show has been brought to you by NASCO, and it was created by Unimark Limited Marketing Communication Consultants. Executive producers, NASCO Marketing Department. Producers, Harun Audu and Joshua Tongman. I am your host, Hudung Gyang, inviting you to join us same time next week for yet another exciting show. NASCO, providing the quality life.